one. And we are live. What's up, everybody? We're here. It's Tuesday. We're going to talk about everything that's going on. And I think we're going to do things different this week. We're going to actually do some music. We're going to start with a song this week just to get the vibe right. But you're watching Young Lion TV.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they dying. Everywhere I look, they dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they dying. Everywhere I look, they dying. Young lion, won't you get up and stop fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
All right. Hey, what's up to everybody in the chat right now? I see Stiz, I see Edward, I see Rand, I see Shaniqua. Everybody make sure you share this. Xavier, make sure you guys share the video and let everybody know that we're streaming right now. We're going to do a song. We're going to do a song on the stream for the first time ever. We decided why not start playing some music while we're here, set the tone, maybe speak to some people with some of our music. So we're going to do a song of ours called Who Am I? It's very apropos for the times that we're dealing with. Everybody's trying to figure out who they are right now and what's going on in the world. So
let me introduce you.
Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, Je t'aime.
Who am I to judge? Who am I to deny love? Who am I to try and pick your world apart? But I refuse to be deceived by imposters and the thieves that attempt to gain an entrance in my heart. No, they won't take this ground. Their words won't leave me bound. No, I won't be moved. My roots are firmly sound.
Can't hear Simone
Soon
at all.
they'll find out who am I. Ooh. Who am I? Maybe there's more to me. Maybe there's more that lies beneath. Maybe even my dreams have been diseased. Maybe I can learn to love without fear of being judged, without fear of all the world rejecting me. Yeah, I'm taking this crown. No, my words will not fall down. I can see my future breaking through these clouds. Hey, I'm finding out who am I? Who am I? Ooh. right. The whole time we're saying, yo, that's hilarious, man. So
one of our cameras went out.
So
of
the
course.
camera dropped right when we started singing?
Yeah, it cut out, and we have not been able to
You guys are
turn
just
it back
like
on.
freaking out over there trying to get it back. So they got to watch Moan sing and James sit there.
Glare in the dark uncomfortably. All right. I know this is not what they want to see.
If it's any consolation, y'all sound magnificent.
The first
Yeah.
time we
You
try
guys
to
did
sing
good.
something, and we got to fight through the panic that's going on. What?
Broadcast.
What?
Oh, okay. It's back.
It's been saying that.
Yeah?
The broadcast dipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, something is going on, man. Like
Yeah, that was happening a lot yesterday, too.
Keeps on saying
last week, you mean?
interrupted.
Yeah.
And my mic is on.
Why is mic not working?
Check. Am I muted?
No.
All right, guys. We're working through these technicals. Technical difficulties right now.
Plug it in.
Check.
I can hear now.
All right. Jamie's such a smart ass. Are we still on?
All right.
Back.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
I think you should never call me to do this ever again. The weirdest stuff happens when I'm
Not your
here.
fault.
I know, and it's weird because like I don't even understand why the internet is dropping the stream. We're plugged right into the Ethernet. It's weird.
Right.
Well, if it's consolation, you guys sound great.
Thanks, man. We
That's
tried.
good.
We tried to.
Thanks,
We tried to
James.
work through that.
Yeah. A little impromptu.
Little impromptu. We maybe we'll do another song later.
Yeah.
I'm like singing, like, unplug it.
Yeah.
I was going to go through all
He's over
He's trying
here.
to tell y'all to unplug it and plug it back in.
Right.
No, I was going like this. Take it out.
It was like a
It was a game of charades.
game of charades. Jake and charades there.
The wire. I can't say it because I'm singing.
But he did say, I can't hear Moon.
Yeah,
You should have
he
put it
did
in a
say
song.
that. Can't hear Moon at all.
You should have put it in a
been
song.
like,
Who am I to unplug the wire? Plug it in again, I say. Why you guys messing up? The simple instructions.
oh
You're
man.
both fired. Don't you ever come back here?
That was crazy. Let's do it again. Let's sing it again with the cameras now, right? So
Do
that
it
way we
again?
can have it on the stream.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're gonna sing it again.
Cameras and Moon's mic.
Cameras and Moon's
My
mic.
mic is
All
on.
right.
We're gonna sing it
I don't
again for
have to steal
everybody
James'
that's
mic.
watching that got deprived the right song because we were too busy worried about what was going on in the room.
This is for any of you questioning Jamie's guitar playing. He can play. Okay, you didn't see it, but so me.
Okay. Am I in the shot, Kyle? Yeah, you're good. Okay, cool. All right, let's do this again, guys. Everybody watching, make sure you share this. Also, hey, give it a like, a thumbs up, all that good stuff.
Share it.
I
I want to say what's up to John and
Subscribe. What happened? Same camera?
Yeah.
What is happening?
It's not. I was on. Did you go back? Yep, I came back.
Came back? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Something is trying to kill us tonight. All right, let's go. You want to give us an
Crazy
introduction
Jesus.
again,
Yeah.
James?
Put on his
Ladies and gentlemen, minus the Jake's pointing. Your tongue.
Give us the.
They couldn't see it anyway.
Give us the trailer voice intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, this summer, romance, desire, Jatan.
All right, here we go. Let's do it for real. Come on, are you serious?
It's back.
Come on. Oh my God, you guys are killing me.
It's on us.
Who am I to judge? Who am I to deny love? Who am I to try and pick your world apart? But I refuse to be deceived by imposters and the thieves that attempt to gain an entrance in my heart. No, they won't take this ground. Their words won't leave me bound. No, I won't be moved. My roots are firmly sound. Soon they'll find out who am I. Ooh. Who am I? Maybe there's more to me. Maybe there's more that lies beneath. Maybe even my dreams have been diseased. Maybe I can learn to love without fear of being judged, without fear of all the world rejecting me. Yeah, I'm taking this ground. No, my words will not fall down. I can see my future breaking through these clouds. Hey, I'm finding out who am I? Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, we got through it that time?
Yeah, we got it.
All right, cool.
It's somebody says, is it me or does it seem not working? I don't.
Is it me or it seems it's not working?
Yeah.
When are you playing live? When are we playing live? When is the world opening back up?
Yeah, we
that's
don't
the,
know when we're
that's the
playing
question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good job, boys.
Okay, so let's talk about that. So that song right there, it's called Who Am I? It is available everywhere if you want to stream it. The record version, the acoustic version, all that stuff. But let's talk about why that song is relevant right now.
How was it inspired?
Jake came with almost the whole idea, right? Like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't. That's the funny thing. Like, you don't know sometimes.
By the Spirit.
It's inspired by the Spirit, but I didn't even know what we were writing about.
Right.
Like when we wrote it. So.
right.
And then the more we sing it, the more we start to see, oh, okay, this is what it's about.
Yeah. I just remember the original idea that you came at the rehearsal, you came to us with the, who am I to judge? Who am I to deny love? And they won't take this ground. It's about like not being brought into someone else's ideas when you stand for something, right?
Yeah.
But I just
And-
remember like playing that in the recording is that pad that just like
Yeah.
and that's like what was the foundation for that whole feel of that song was
Yeah.
that pad that kind of like droned through there.
Yeah.
And then we like came up with the whole arrangement with the band after that.
Yeah, and it's definitely like about humbling ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yep.
not judging, not thinking you have the answers, but at the same time, but I refuse to be deceived.
Right.
So it's like you can't just let everything in it, you know, just because you say you're not going to judge, that means you're not going to judge. It's really about judging people's intentions.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not about, like, you can see somebody do something that's obviously can be bad, but it's more about judging the intentions of people's hearts. Like, a lot of times people, they overstep their bounds, and that's just like,
Right.
literally, they won't, you know, who am I to judge? Who am I to deny love? Who am I to try to pick your world apart? But I refuse to be deceived by imposters and the thieves that attempt to gain entrance to my heart. So
Right.
it's the same thing. Like we get duped into our hearts, and we take things in. We become victims, you know, and then we lash out
Right.
because of being a victim. So sometimes people, it seems like somebody might be evil or somebody might be mean, but a lot of times they're acting out of their hurt,
Right.
acting out of what they've gone through. you
Right.
know.
And I think that's
Relevant. to
relevant to what's happening right now. Me and James were talking earlier about how you hear a lot of people just saying like, well, how could you be out there, you know, protesting? How could you be out there rioting? You know, and a lot of people don't want to acknowledge where all this hurt is coming from. You know what I
Right.
mean? And how hard people have fought and tried for certain things over the years, and eventually when you keep seeing the same things and the same treatment over and over again, it causes that trauma to be relived.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's literally like who am I to judge? Who am I to deny love?
Right.
Because we get, when people say stuff like that and they just make these blanket statements,
right.
you're not giving an opportunity to hear somebody else's side, why, or even their true feelings. Press in, like, why do you feel? Why are you doing this? Why do you feel the way you feel?
Right,
You
right.
know?
Yeah, that's important, I think.
You think people are asking those questions, though?
I don't think so.
I think there's some.
Some people are,
Yeah.
but I think for the most part, people are just pointing fingers
Yeah.
and saying, look at what you're doing. And the other side is saying, look at what you're doing. You know what I mean?
And that's the thieves.
Right.
You know, that's like, you got to understand when you think you got
That's a good point, though. The thieves are like the news pundits who are trying to steal your time.
Yeah.
Your energy.
And then the people that are trying to steal your cause.
Yeah.
There's people out there that are trying to steal your cause for their own agenda, right? We talked about that last week.
But you're right about that, though, because if you give in to that, you're going to completely surrender to that, and that takes over your life,
Right.
Because you're like, yeah, that's right, I do feel like this. It's not really how you feel. I mean, you
Right.
feel like it a little bit, but they completely hijacked it. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like a suggestion.
Don't you feel like this?
That you let
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, wait a minute. Yeah. You know, like people who are going to steal from you, they're going to be slick about
Right,
it.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? They're not going to be all out like,
Right.
you know, I'm
There
taking
is
your
those
money.
who will do it by force, you know.
Yeah,
Right,
right,
but if somebody's going to be
Right.
want to have longevity in something, they're going to want to do it the slickest way they can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Emotions are things you can steal. Just like I heard a comedian say this one time. I think it was Chris Rock, actually. He was talking about like late night infomercial. Don't you have this? Don't you
Yeah.
have this? And they go down the list, and eventually they get to the one you like.
Right.
And it's the same thing with our emotions.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what they do. I mean, infomercials are a prime example of how dumb they think you are, because it's like they'll turn the most like normal thing you do every day that you in your mind it's just like something. It's just like something that is annoying to do. It's not like something that ruins your life. It's just annoying to do. But in the infomercial, they pull on that and show it to you as if it's ruining your life, and you're like, yeah, I don't like wiping tables with a cloth. I need this squishy sponge thing that they're selling. You know what I mean? It's like this way to just get you to buy something. But I want to show this video about Black Wall Street because I want to talk about this. I want to go into this. I want to like get into the history of Black economics and like how like there was a time where it was thriving and they had no, and it wasn't like something where it was a separatist thing. It was something where like back after World War I, blacks couldn't get jobs, so they had to literally build their own towns and start their own economic.
They did what they were told. Build your own.
Right. Exactly. So let's see if we can play this real quick.
Between the 1870s and the beginning of World War I, black pioneers settled more than 100 all-black towns in the West, each with the goal of economic independence. Among the most well-known was a black district in Tulsa, Oklahoma, known by its residents as Greenwood.
If we were to go back in time to 1920 and walk up and down Greenwood Avenue, one thing that would probably strike us is the absolute variety of businesses. The numbers are astonishing. 30 restaurants, 45 groceries and meat markets. There were dry goods stores, milliners, photography studio, dental offices. Greenwood is no longer called Greenwood. It's now known as Black Wall Street.
This whole idea of self-containment really existed there. The dollar would stay in that community sometimes over 3-5 years before it ever went outside of the community.
In 1919, black soldiers returned from World War I with high expectations for racial progress at home. But in one city after another, white mobs erupted in violence, targeting black veterans, citizens, and businesses. Hundreds died. On Tulsa's Black Wall Street, African Americans, including armed veterans, watched nervously and prepared for what might come.
Countering this white militancy is very much an African American spirit of we're going to defend ourselves. If the mob comes, we're not going to run. We've got our guns and we're going to protect ourselves. And that was especially important and valuable and potent in Greenwood.
On May 30th, 1921, the mob came to Greenwood.
This white woman is in an elevator and this black teenager allegedly whistles at her or talks to her. He is taken to jail. A mob gathers of whites and blacks, and blacks in Tulsa are armed. They take their Second Amendment rights seriously, and they come with guns. And this is a threat. Someone fires into the crowd, and the riot is born. This was not about the whistling boy in the elevator. This was about blacks becoming too economically powerful and showing that wealth in a way that anyone would by creating buildings and constructing churches and having property.
There was a whistle that blew, and then the mass invasion and the destruction of Greenwood began.
When the smoke cleared in the early morning of June 1st, 1921, Black Wall Street lay in ruins.
This is by far the largest single incident of racial violence in all of American history.
Okay, so I think a lot of people.
Jerry's about to come home right now, you guys.
I think what was that? Oh man,
It's on autoplay.
I think a lot of people aren't aware of, like, people hear about it. You talk about Black Wall Street. Yeah, people have heard that term, but they don't really know like the full history on it.
Right.
And it just reminds me of, y'all ever see the movie Rosewood?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same type of situation. It's like this all black town. They were doing well, and someone gets accused of doing something with a white woman and then it gets burned to the ground. You know what I mean? Over accusations. But so what we're seeing now is we're seeing the culmination of all of that throughout the years. You're talking about that was 1920. You know what I mean? We're in 2020.
Right.
You know what I mean?
100 years later. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not what it was then, but there's still remnants of that people are seeing, where it's like we're still dealing with that injustice in ways where when people see it taps into that same trauma. You know what I mean? And you see people are going to lash out because of that.
And that's the thing that needs to be healed.
Right. That's what people need healing, and that's what we're also gonna talk about. I want to go to. There's a video in there. I think it's like one of the first ones. It's the Joe Biden video, because I want to go into like, you know, how we get given these false heroes, you know, like Malcolm X always talk about these white liberals that come in as foxes, that come in as the false heroes that are gonna, you know, save you from this problem. You know what I mean? And I think right now, like, a lot of people are being fooled that Joe Biden is that guy. So I want to play this video of him from the 1990s when he was talking about the crime bill, and just listen to how he was talking and what he was saying, and we'll talk about it a little bit.
Right.
have to become it doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter or not whether or not they had no background that enabled them to have to become socialized into the fabric of society. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. The end result is they're about to knock my mother on the head with a lead pipe, shoot my sister, beat up my wife, take on my sons. So I don't want to ask what made them do this. They must be taken off the street. That's number one. There's a consensus on that. Unless we do something about that cadre of young people, tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally, I yield myself 3 more minutes, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. If we don't, they will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. And Madam President, we have predators on our streets that society has, in fact, in part because of its neglect, created. Again, it does not mean because we created them that we somehow forgive them or do not take them out of society to protect my family and yours from them. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society.
Okay. Now, listen to that way he's talking there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, does this even match up to the guy we're seeing now?
Right.
Like, that has learned this new way of virtue signaling. Like, this is the guy you're talking about, the crime bill that he takes credit for, that put a lot of this power in the hands of the police, put all this extra funding in the police departments, and created the police state that a lot of these cities are in.
This is the same guy that kneeled?
Same guy that was kneeling. We're gonna talk about that, the kente cloths next, because that's what you get when you see people that start there and pretend like they're like, and now they want to pretend like they care about your cause because it somehow
because
can
it's
advance.
Popular right now.
It's popular right now, so it can advance their cause. So they was just like you're talking about. Those are the thieves. Those are the thieves that are hijacking something that really means something to you. Something that really matters, something that really needs to change for you. They hijack it by pull up that picture with the Pelosi and them in the kente cloth. And this is what you get. You get people that that you know what I mean will grandstand like this, and it's like, what does that have to do? How does that show us that you care?
Right. There's a video of an African woman talking about they don't really know what those.
Yeah, they don't.
It's Ghanaian.
It's from Ghana. Yeah.
But I wanted to just go back. I think the Black Wall Street thing. I think one of the things I'm learning from this is we are counting too much on the school system to educate our children. I think it's incumbent on each one of us to really educate our own kids on the power of what our people went through, the things that they went through, the things that they've overcome. I think I guarantee you most people don't know about Black Wall Street.
They didn't teach about that.
Yeah, they didn't teach.
So you're not gonna get perspective.
You're right. I think I always think that people know about it now because a lot of people that I talk to know about it. But
yes, we're in the same circle though, so we're gonna kind of feed off each other. But this is old history, but this is.
I mean, but why isn't it talked about? It's because of shame. Like they don't.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to deal with the darkness. Right. They don't want to deal with the stuff in the closet.
That's part of it, but I think a lot of times, like Jamie's saying, there are certain groups of people whose best interest is to keep you in that position. So they don't want to show you that because then you would have something to look up in an aspirational kind of way to be like, wow, so it was done.
Right.
You know what I mean? They want to kind of keep you there. That's what
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
what I'm saying is.
No, I think you're right.
I think you're right, but I'm saying the attack.
Right.
That's a scar on America. You know, that's a shame on America.
Yeah.
The shield.
It's
just like how the NFL always protects the shield.
Right.
You know, just like
the flag. It's the flag.
Yeah.
And I think like look at media. Look at like even for us, especially growing up. You know, we're in music. We always say we don't want to be entertainers, right? And our father was a musician. He was an entertainer. And what did he always say?
It's not your show.
It's not your show.
I was just telling Kyle that he was talking about party band stuff, and I was like, it's not your party.
And what else would he always say? Well, he didn't say that.
He
but
said a lot of stuff.
He said a lot of stuff.
But he always had stuff.
But people used to always say, you got to fake it till you make it. You know, it's about the image or the appearance of something.
Right.
People don't really care. They just want to feel the wonder of it all, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's starting to die. People are starting to like, I don't want that. I want the genuine article, you know?
Yeah.
And
I think you're noticing that even on social, like with being an artist on social media, you're noticing now that like the people that are truly gaining a quote unquote cult fan base is people who learn how to be genuine and reach those people genuinely.
So I want to go back a little bit on this. I would say there's always been a narrative, which for me, I've heard, me being of Black descent, but coming from the Caribbean, because I didn't understand this country's past. The Caribbean is totally different than here. But what I heard a lot, and I took on a little bit of that, a little bit of that, meaning, why don't you just work harder?
Right.
Why don't you build your own? And because I didn't know that they did try Rosewood, Tulsa. I didn't know that they did. So when you look at them, you're like, yeah, why are you guys not trying?
Right.
My parents came and tried,
right,
but we don't have perspective, meaning foreigners. So we don't see, like I talked to your dad before, and your dad tells me his history when I was taking bass lessons from him that I never finished. But him and I would talk about this stuff, and he would tell me about the legacy of your grandfathers, right? But what's crazy about that is years later, I'm talking to Denny Brown, I'm talking to Mr. Brown, and all their stories are they were prominent business farmers and business owners in the Carolinas.
Right, in the South. Yeah.
And all their stuff was burnt down. They had to run into the night. You know, they had businesses. They were thriving members of society. And I'm like, this is exactly like Mr. Evans said.
Yeah.
It's like, how many people have these stories?
Yeah.
So me being a foreigner, I'm still of Black descent, but I can't relate to you guys because I don't know your history, right?
Right.
Until I'm starting to hear this over and over again, and I'm like, wow, your great grandfather was a plumber.
Yeah.
You guys own farms down there.
Mhm.
Mr. Brown is telling me this. Denny Brown is telling me this. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
That people did try, and I think people
and they were successful.
They were successful,
and a lot of it was ripped away from them.
A lot of it was ripped away. And my question has always been: imagine if that didn't happen. Where would the legacies of these people be today?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Same as the Indians, the Asians, these other groups that are migrating here, by the way, off of the backs of the freedom fighters that fought for their rights too, and then subsequently looking down on them. Why don't you try harder? Because I used to say that too. And I didn't realize, and these stories started to kind of like mirror each other. And I was like, man, this is crazy. But we're not seeing this kind of history, so we don't know.
Right, because what we get fed is people in kente cloths.
Right.
That's what we
Right.
like when something real is going on right now in the country.
It is.
Something
It
real
is.
is happening.
It
Like
is.
there is real crying out. There is real change that needs to happen, and we get kente cloths.
But people recognize that though.
Yeah.
I think people are
everybody.
not everybody, but
Shout out to Kathleen McCool and Gene Anderson. Yeah, a lot of people are recognizing it.
I think so.
Let's while you're talking, let's bring up the clip of them bowing because I just want to show that while you're talking. Go ahead.
Okay. What I was gonna go into is a little longer winded. So.
Oh, okay. But we can. I'm saying they could just be playing while you
Okay.
talk.
Well, something that I was noticing because I've been reading a lot of Genesis, right? So funny.
The funniest one is when they try to get back up. There's another video of them trying to get back up. That's hilarious.
I've been reading Genesis and like just the Old Testament, and it's raw.
Right.
Like you see, like Abraham, he's the father of faith, but you know how many mistakes he made?
Right.
You know how much he messed up? Jacob, this dude tried to steal his birthright from his brother. Snuck in like he was his brother because his dad was blind.
Yeah.
You know, and just really thinking about like, it wasn't a glorification of the forefathers. It was a raw indication of the only reason why anything happened was because they were flawed individuals who made covenant with God that they honored, and he honored them. But they made a lot of mistakes along the way. And what I'm saying is like, we just have to be honest. Like that, to me, it's just an honest portrayal. When you read that, it's an honest portrayal of who they were as flawed individuals.
Right. Even Noah, like after all that, he got drunk, and then like that. Everybody knows those stories. Like none of these people were perfect. Like this idea of the Pope in his penis hat, walking around. Like no one was that guy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, like, Jesus came. It's always like Jesus came in the branch of David. The branch of Jesse. Son of David.
Yeah.
And how much stuff did David do?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And by the way, just because these men in from the biblical times did this doesn't mean you could do it and get forgiven.
Right.
Hey, David had 5 wives.
Yeah. Let me get in there. What's up?
I have a question, and I don't want to make it seem like it was like a repeat of the last time I was here where I didn't know who that little girl was.
Yeah.
What was her name again?
Greta Thunberg.
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah.
That video that we just watched.
Yeah.
What was that? That was Nancy Pelosi, right?
It was a clown show. That's what it was. Nancy Pelosi. That was their.
It was a Democrat.
It was literally. It looks like a religious ceremony that they did. They were going to try to introduce some legislation about police reform. Was it right?
Yeah.
So in order to honor the legislation, they did this weird ceremony cloth that just kind of like made no sense. You know what I mean? It was just like a lot of people thought it was really cringy and really like over the top and just pandering.
Staged.
Yeah,
Fake.
staged.
Fake.
Yeah. They were pandering to who?
All the people that are protesting, all the people, all the black people.
So this just happened?
This just happened yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They're pandering to blacks, basically, which is what they always do. They're like,
Well,
we
they
got
need
an
the
election coming up,
they need the
so we're
black
going to wear
ones.
this kente cloth so y'all dummies vote for us.
But what you're saying is literally like, that's the false, like, I am honoring, and I am showing honor.
That's
but really,
the beef.
But really, you're trying to steal people's hearts.
Right.
You're trying to enter into people's hearts so that you can steal from them, and it's not genuine.
Yeah.
And so.
Hey, Carolyn. Thank you. She said, great discussion. Carolyn.
Thank you, Carolyn.
From Woodward.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. So to go back to what I was saying is that, like, when you go and you read all these flawed individuals in the Bible.
Yeah.
It's okay to be flawed.
Right.
It's okay to be genuine. It's okay to make mistakes. You don't have like James was saying, of course you're not going to go, well, I can do whatever.
Right.
But if you're not honest, you're going to try to do as much work as you can to make yourself look good.
And cover up all of your flaws.
Right.
And just, be in denial. And
then, be in denial. Because there's so many people out there saying, well, these people just need to work and they need to just do it. Yeah. But it's like, but you're saying that from a place of like a high place. Mm-hmm. You're saying that from a pride place because you don't understand what they went through.
And you're using your own existence.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And if you could come and lower yourself,
humble yourself,
right. you might realize like, oh,
wow, they did try.
Mm-hmm.
They did try, but I can help them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And of course you got to want to be helped.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like helping is not like that. Is not helping.
That's not helping.
Helping is not a black square. Like I talked about this last week. It's not a black square on Instagram. It's not going even just going out to the parkway and taking selfies of yourself to show that you did your part. You know what I mean? Like that's not helping. The lady that got caught, the journalist that got fired because she got caught trying to pretend like she was boarding, help fix up some of the damage. You know what I mean? But Yeah, I also want to go to the next clip so we can continue this conversation. But this is going to be along the lines. It's Kamala Harris talking with her kente cloth on, and we know, but I want to discuss like some of her track record with the black community and like how she's another one.
Let me say what's up to some people.
Go ahead.
Damien Gee, William Riley.
Oh,
Julie.
Damien Gee, I went to high school with him.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Well, Edgewood. Not Williamstown.
Julie Dan. Barbara Davenport said, "Hi guys."
Hi.
Hey. Ariana.
What's up, Ariana?
Lisi.
Ariana, we finally sang. Now you can.
I think she missed it though.
Oh,
she came on.
Katija.
Maybe we'll sing later.
Hansberger.
Oh, our Aunt Millie's watching right now.
No one is here for me.
Sen City. What up?
Yeah, Shanique was there.
Shanique was here. Oh man, I got a fan. Jeez,
I said it in the
feels
beginning.
good.
Jacqueline Scowcroft.
It should be the very next video right under.
And Dame. What up, Dame?
It's not loading.
Sorry, Mo. I interrupted you.
It's all good.
But what you're saying is like, okay, how can the only way you're gonna bridge that gap is if you humble yourself,
right.
And you really wanna. A friend is somebody who wants to know somebody else's heart, truly,
right.
Not like in a fake way,
right, right.
It's I really want to know,
yeah,
what's going on with you. Like, I was talking to somebody about this the other day because this kid that he's younger, he's like 20.
Mm-hmm.
He actually just had a birthday, and he was somebody I know, and he was saying to me something. He said to me, "You did something that a lot of people don't do," because he was outside smoking a cigarette, and I asked him, "Why do you smoke?"
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't asking him like, "You need to stop smoking. Why do you smoke?" I just wanted to know really what is the reason behind
what made you start smoking. Yeah.
So then he started to tell me, "Oh, I had anxiety. I used to smoke weed, but I stopped that. But I just." It calms me down.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And I didn't really go any further, but I just wanted to know, well, why he does the things he does, because I want to know about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he said he thought about that later because it made him think, like, wow, everybody else would ask me in a way where they're judging me by asking me, but
which would make him want to continue.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just rebel.
Yeah, right.
And he told me that made him look at me different.
Yeah.
That let his guard down a little bit, because then he opened up to me and he told me he grew up without a father, and he said he had an issue with men, and I recognized that. Like him being around, I recognized like he's got a little bit of rebellion in him, but it was just because of hurt.
Yeah.
And the more you're not you can look at that and like, and look at these kids. Yeah. Look at the way they act. And that can be your...
But that always happens. You notice generations will always look at the younger generation from a place of judgment. Look at these kids. Look what they're doing. Look at the music they're listening to. Look at the... You know what I mean? Without ever thinking like, all right...
I've seen it now with the old hip-hop heads judging the mumble rap.
Bro. But then they forget that they were judged by their fathers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just the ongoing cycle.
Yeah.
Who's going to stop that cycle?
Exactly. Who's going to humble themselves?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But let's see. Can we pull this clip up now? Okay.
This particular video is not working.
Well, let's skip it then. Let's go to something else. What's the next one on the list? Because they're all like relevant to what we're talking about. Because I'm showing the false.
Right.
Because we were talking earlier, like I was watching the interview with I think it was Charlemagne and Andrew Schultz. They were doing their podcast, and I heard Charlemagne say something interesting that I was like, wow, man, like you really think that? He said that Lyndon Johnson was one of the most progressive presidents ever.
Yeah, his track record.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, because he was a known KKK member, and then he like pushed through all this black legislation. I was like, but that dude said out of his mouth that he's doing this because he wants to have niggers voting Democrat for 200 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like he's only doing this to.
He's telling you what he's
telling
doing,
you
yeah.
what his point is. Like this isn't someone that really cares about.
Well, politicians force black people and minorities, but black people specifically, to pick a side.
Right.
And with that, we have in this country. I spend majority of my life here. We have this thing where we have to pick a side, us versus them.
Right.
So politics have become a game.
Right.
So
that's what we were talking about last week.
So when you look at the charade of TV, the debates, all of that stuff, it's geared towards us versus them.
I look at it like sports talk radio.
It really is. It's turned into you yell, I yell, we get ratings.
Right.
So people
get
aren't
nowhere.
Right.
People,
there's no understanding ever.
They don't
if
want you to
watch
understand.
Shannon Sharp and Skip, right?
Right.
It's like they go back and forth every week
because you're tuning in for that, Joe.
That's all you're watching.
You're tuning in for that.
So because a lot of time you're tackling stuff that really is like
it's menial.
It doesn't mean anything. Like you're not getting to the root of anything.
Right.
So
but go ahead.
So what I'm saying is the production of it all is part of the problem. Where this is what you're talking about, looking inward. We have to ask ourselves, why are we so entertained by the charade of this thing? Because that's what that is. That display of Kente Clark right there, she doesn't care. She doesn't care about Black lives or anything like that.
Right.
That is just for her to tap into your emotion to get you to see that she is. Now, if you think that I'm lying, go look at the policies and go look at the things that they write and put into law. If you feel that, no, that's a little hard, James, look at the policies. Like I said, Joe Biden, the crime bill, that has destroyed not just the black lives, but countless of fatherless homes, husbandless homes. You know, look at the long-term effect.
And has he ever said anything like I regret that?
No.
He has been fired. He has been because he for a long time called it the Biden bill.
Right.
Now I told Jamie today I believe that the more pressure he's going to get, that by the fall he'll probably apologize.
But even as recently as like a couple weeks ago,
right?
He said he doesn't regret that.
No, he's pushing back on it.
Yeah.
But I think his constituents and the people are going to kind of see because what they're going to do is show he's reformed. Right. They want to show us, you know. He's a changed man. We got to forgive, right?
And that's the thing. It's gonna happen when the pressure is on to do it, and that's what is that
the pressure cooker.
Right, the pressure cooker. Is that genuine? No,
no.
You're moving
it's
because
it's not genuine.
You feel like you got to move.
And I think this generation
push it in again. Push it in again. It was back. Okay, cool. Push that in again. And I think it'll be back. Yeah. Check it now.
I think this generation.
No, push it one more time. All right, push it one more time.
Soft jazz playing in the background, guys.
Let's get it on.
Yeah. All right, let's pull up this video. He said the video's back. I'll try to get the camera up while we watch this.
Many in America now already live in places with minimal police presence. Go to any middle and upper class suburb, and you will not see the kind of presence of police that you see in other neighborhoods. But you will also see in those communities that those families have jobs that allow them to pay the bills and keep a roof over their head. You will also see in those communities thriving schools. You will also see in those communities access to affordable health care or families that can afford access to health care. So what we are doing today is saying that we need to have consequence and accountability in America for policing, but we also know that this is not the way that we are going to achieve healthy and safe communities. It is but a part of a much bigger issue that we still must address. Many
Okay, I totally missed the video, but I kind of remember what she was talking about. Talking about like police presence in the suburbs versus the city. First of all, the cities are the ones who need more policing because there's more people there.
Right.
That's one. Two, it's like they get the funding for it because of bills that she voted for. You know what I mean? And second of all, she was a prosecutor for how long?
Yep.
And put so many people in jail. Like her record is ridiculous.
Yeah, just look at her record. You got to go. That's what you have to do. You got to forget the antics and just look at their record. You know.
Carolyn said, "Are you familiar with the black author Shelby Steele? Please check him out. Your ideas and ideals are in sync." We will check him out. I've never heard of him.
Yeah. Sometimes you need police presence.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't. It all. I know. For Camden, which is one of the places that had peaceful protest, and the cops actually protested with them in Camden. But
Camden and Newark.
Yeah.
Two of the worst.
Camden has been mentioned quite often now.
Yeah.
John Oliver did a thing.
Yeah.
And when you look like how much Camden has improved over the years, like when we first started here, like it was the worst for murders, the poorest country. I mean, poorest city in the.
Used to have crackheads sleeping on our step every day.
Yeah. People breaking into our cars.
Yeah.
But I know for us, like one of the worst places, North Camden, where our aunt lives. Since we were little kids, going there was always a drug dealer, not on one corner, on every corner, like that. She lived right by the corner store, and at that corner, every corner there was a drug set. And
I remember John came to visit one time, and you know John looks white, so he goes out there and they like, "Hey, yo, we got that for you." You know what I mean? John's like, "Leave me alone, leave me alone."
But nobody policed,
right?
You know, they allowed it for so long.
And I remember when they did that police reform here.
Yeah.
With Metro, you're talking about
a lot. A lot of people were pissed. People were trying to stop it. People were like, a lot of police officers were upset.
Yeah.
But what it did was, and I think then they do something where they forced everyone to reapply.
Yeah.
So what that did
that's
was
why they were pissed.
Yeah.
But you before that, I would all the time. You see people, police officers on their phones, not paying attention to anything.
Right.
They didn't care. Like
they just collecting a paycheck.
Yeah. And
or they're here for the residual shakedown.
Right.
Which is they know the drug dealers.
Right.
They know we find 50,000 cash. Hey, Captain, I found 10,000.
Right.
You know? So there's police corruption, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And heavy policing is a problem when you have police, when you have over policing, when you have police officers that are in these precincts where they all look out for each other and they are doing.
Yes, we need law and order.
Connection cut. Yeah. Wirecast is saying it has the no logo underneath the on top of the live stream.
Okay. Well, let's just keep. I think it might still be going.
We're not recording anymore. No. We never were recording.
Right.
So if I'm just saying the connection's cut, they're not hearing what you're saying.
No, but sometimes it does that, and it's still actually streaming.
Okay.
Did it say that the connection was cut?
Says it's still live.
It's saying it's still live here. So
can you all hear us out there in Facebook land?
Are we good, guys? Everybody good? There's no interruption over the stream.
Let us know.
Right when I said that.
Interruption.
Oh, we're back. Okay.
We're back?
Yeah.
We're back?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Go? Is it back over there, Kyle?
No, it says on my side. It still says that there's no streaming going on.
Oh, it's showing that we're streaming.
Yeah.
Here, so.
Oh, it's very weird.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Kyle is like, every time I sit here, things go wrong. Don't worry. We'll get it straight. We'll get it straight for you. I have no idea what is happening, but we're just going to keep.
All right, now we're back. That's what it says here.
Okay, cool.
All right, still going.
Stan said still going on YouTube. All right, cool.
Good.
We'll edit all this out later.
Right.
No, we won't. No, we won't. It'll still be there. We too lazy for all of that. So let's move on to. I want to show some more stuff. Let's go to the next video, and I don't even remember what's next, but let's see if we could play it because all this stuff.
Eating up our time.
White people and the rest of motherfuckers.
Oh man.
I'm starting a trend. Look what I got. 1, 2. Oh, show them the bag.
Gotta see the bag.
Hashtag apology lunch. Go find yourself a black person and buy them some food.
Okay, stop it.
Jeez.
Yo, I saw this on Twitter. I was like,
Wow.
I gotta show this to the dude because it was like,
right.
this is what you get.
Right.
This is what you
Right.
get when you create an environment where everyone is like, all right, let me show that I'm a good one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Why do
Like
you have to videotape that?
Yo,
Right.
he literally said, look what I got.
That's embarrassing.
1 and 2. I found me 2 Negroes. And I'm going to buy him some lunch.
Now, keep in mind, I'll drop him off. I'm not taking him to the neighborhood.
But it's like, bro, you had to get him. You couldn't even you had to get him Burger King, bro. Like,
Apology lunch.
that's an apology lunch.
Yeah.
Like, that's all
Oh
they
my
deserve.
gosh.
Yo,
It's cheap.
It's
2 for $3.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, yo, this is what people really think is doing something. Like, this is my way of showing
Right.
blacks that I'm a good one. I'll
Right.
find 2 random blackies and buy them Burger King. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, to be fair, I don't know if that's really the way he thought, but
That's the way it
but,
comes off.
Yeah, but
He said, look what I got.
Yeah.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
And now show
Gotta
him the
catch 'em
bag.
all.
Show him the bag.
I mean, obviously,
Right.
he's definitely
and then he said,
he's in his own virtue.
he said hashtag apology lunch.
Right.
Like, he's trying to get this thing trending.
Yeah.
Like, he's not.
You don't think he's
backing
just
up.
trying to go viral?
He could be,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, like, the whole approach is just
Right. Right. But then there's like a white serial killer who's like, this is how I get him. Apology lunch.
he's pulling over to random black people like, hey, you guys want an apology lunch?
Sure. You didn't tell me this was going to be
Hell yeah.
lunch.
That's what Jeffrey Dahmer was doing, right? Jeffrey Dahmer was giving out apology lunches. He didn't know that they was going to become the lunch, though. That was the problem.
When I said lunch, I meant you.
Yeah. Wasn't he, like, killing all blacks?
Yeah, he was homosexual. He's killing.
But wasn't he killing only
Yeah,
blacks?
mostly
like
black males.
dudes,
Yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer? Yeah.
Really?
You don't think so?
Yeah.
I don't
Mostly.
know. We can check on that.
Not-
but
not
I think he
all, but
killed
mostly.
Mostly like blacks and
Google it.
blacks and Asians.
He would
I don't
really-
know why that's in my brain.
Blacks and Asians.
Yeah.
All right, what's next on the list of videos? Because there's some stuff on there that I just want to get y'all reaction to because it's like I
This
be
week,
on.
listen, this week
Can I buy
Jamie's on
you
it,
guys
man.
an apology lunch?
Dude, I be on Twitter and I see this stuff and I'm just like, yo, I gotta play this for these guys. Yeah, James, don't worry. Tomorrow, apology lunch on me.
I'm gonna bring you some apology beef sticks.
I get half apology lunch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get half apology
you get
lunch,
half
too.
lunch. No, you don't get no apology lunch because you're from the Caribbean.
All right.
You don't know the struggle.
Listen, I'll play it up. I'll get some apology lunch.
That's reparations now.
Right.
Apology lunch. What we got? What we got, John?
Exactly the voice.
Oh yes, this
that people
one.
need to be hearing right now. In fact, I need more confirmation that this is real. I've gotten some, but I need more confirmation. Trump supporters got an email that said that this email is for patriots only. You've been identified as one of President Trump's fiercest and most loyal defenders, and according to your donor file, you'd make an excellent addition to the Trump army. It goes on to tell them that they would get a limited edition camo Keep America Great hat to let them know that you are the president's first line of defense when it comes to fighting off the liberal mob. I don't know if you know, Hitler made Jews wear yellow stars. This feels like the reverse of that.
Oh, wow.
Yo.
So what?
She literally saw a regular campaign email that had like language of like you're part of Trump's army.
Like the,
you know what I mean?
the spam version of email.
Yeah. And she thought that they were really recruiting people for an army to fight.
But this is what we talk. This is what we're talking about.
That's what I'm.
She wants to be famous off of this.
Yeah.
At first I thought she was trolling. I thought like there's no way she could have got hyped up over a stupid campaign email with "Make America Great Again" hats. You know what I mean?
Generic email.
But then the next video kind of confirmed that I was mistaken. So, John, I'll show the next video.
It gets worse.
In a world. My voice isn't as
cool as mine.
Cool as yours.
That's what you're trying to say, more.
Kyle does that voice good too.
It's effective, but yeah.
Show it off.
You want me
Show off your trailer voice.
All right.
In a world, romance, desire, one man. He sold tortillas in the corner, and the mob wanted in.
Something about tortillas in the corner. And some Italian guys.
Not one, but two voiceover guys.
What's that dude's name?
Pablo Francisco.
No, the actual
Don LaFontaine or something like that.
Don LaFontaine.
We're having a LaFontaine battle right now. Okay, we got this video. I want to show this girl's. But it was just like, people are really this gullible.
Absolutely.
That they really have been, and what we're talking about is the media that hypes up, especially young people like her,
Right.
hypes them up into really believing that we're in some type of war right now.
Right.
So when she sees a regular email that's like got colorful language, you know what I mean? Like, you are the best line of defense for Trump against the liberals.
That's
it's
in like
oh my God, they're about to start rounding people up.
Yeah. That's like the equivalent of somebody opening like campaign mail, which is like generic, and reading it like, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, go ahead. This is where she explains why she
Okay, so for me, at least, this one friggin' blew up. And you'll notice that I also posted some other ones, all concerning the same thing, but that's not how the algorithm works, so I have been told. So here's what basically went down. Me, a Jewish woman, saw swastikas, all lives matter, lots of propaganda, lots of other World War II kind of Hitler-y stuff. And so I also saw this email saying that Trump supporters can donate to get this hat to form an army. A clarifying thing that I found out from people is that just because you are a registered Republican does not mean that you got this email, but if you donated to the Trump campaign, then you got the email. Hitler did something very, very similar, but sort of in the reverse order by making Jewish people wear a yellow star, whereas now we are asking Trump supporters to distinguish themselves with this special hat. So yes, this freaked me out, and it should freak you out too, because he is identifying who to protect rather than just labeling the enemy.
Okay, so this girl really believes that, well, again, when you've been fed every day, and all like Don Lemon and all these people from news, MSNBC, you got Rachel Maddow, and they constantly...
She kind of reminds me of Rachel Maddow, like...
Right, but they're constantly comparing Trump to Hitler, which is like such of an exaggeration.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we don't like Trump. He's annoying. We didn't vote for him. We don't want him as president. But the way you put the language out there, they always compare him to Hitler and going that far. You got people that are really believing this, that he wants to, do what Hitler did.
Right.
That's what they want, though.
Right.
That's what they want. So now you got
false prophets.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't even speak. Protagonist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Protagonist.
And they're doing everything they can to rile people up, but they wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't there in the first place.
Right.
So that's why, like, people who see this, you can't just talk about it and just say how messed up it is. Like, and I'm, in terms of people who are believers, like, pray. You know what I mean? Intercede for these people. Pray over them. Cover them. Because if you're just talking about it, then you're part of the problem too. Because it's just divisiveness. We have to recognize
We're continually to divide.
Yeah.
Continuing the divide.
Let's recognize it. Let's see it. And let's pray so that it doesn't have the effect that it's trying to have.
Right.
But
in a way, I feel like people are kind of seeing this stuff, and off of the ridiculousness of it, are starting to be like, what?
Yeah.
And I think through that, some people are starting to come to awaken. Where they're like looking at this. Because I remember when it first started, it was more outrage, but now it's like terror and he's going to get us.
Right.
So they're ramping up their efforts, basically. And who knows if this girl is a journalist, she works somewhere, and she's trying to seem authentic.
Attention. Right.
I'm trying to, I want to be like just a concerned woman in my room.
Right. And I'm crying and the emotions.
Don't you see?
White girl tears always sell.
I was thinking, do you guys think that people just wake up to this because they just like get it? Or do you think like it's actually a spiritual thing? that happens where they become like.
It's a bit of both.
I think it's a bit of. I think it's connected.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, it becomes a simultaneous thing.
Right,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so even like people like because the initial thing when you wake up is like almost a pride thing too, and then you maybe.
And but that's the same thing. Like when you find someone who's like a new Christian, right?
Actually, I was going to make that point.
Okay,
go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I was going to say, a few weeks ago, I'm working on my house, and I see some people walking around the neighborhood. Now I know they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay.
So they're walking my house, and you know, your feeling is like, oh, geez,
Yeah.
But I continue to work,
Right.
so they see me and they approach, and they said, "Hello, how you doing?" So I said, "Hi, I'm doing well," and you know the casual banter, right? Sir, are you a believer? I said, "Yeah, I'm a believer." I said, I'm a believer of Jesus Christ. I'm a follower. And she's like, "But do you know that she's going through the thing?" And I was like,
"Are you one of the 100?
Are you one of the ones?" Right. And so she's trying. And I said, she doesn't stop there. And I was like, "Ma'am," I said,
"You should have just been like, I already heard the song. I'm good." That's all you got to tell them. Have you heard the song? I know how the song goes. Want me to play it for you?
But I think that's what it is with the political game. It's like, aren't you outraged? Like, don't you think you should be a little more outraged? Like, doesn't this upset you? Because she's like trying to tell me, like, look what's going on around here. This is a perfect time. Look what's happening. This is a sign. And I've already told her like 3 times, I'm a believer.
Right.
You know, we're on the same, not the same team, but
she's still pushing.
She's still trying to push. And I think that in a sense, it's kind of the same thing with this kind of narrative going on right now. But aren't you really outraged? Look, Russia. Look, touching women. Look, this. Aren't you? And they're trying to show you because they want you to just join on.
Right.
And
join our team.
Join our team.
Our team is the right team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's thievery.
Right.
You're trying.
And she left, and she was like, well, all right.
All right.
Since you say you are.
If you want to go to hell, that's on you, buddy. God to save you.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you see that a lot, though. You see that a lot. But switching gears, I want to go into the other big thing that's happening right now is this COVID-19 stuff that keeps changing and keeps evolving right before our eyes. I don't know if you guys have seen like all of the studies that have been coming out that are changing now. They retracted the one
asymptomatic people
asymptomatic people don't spread it.
Yeah.
And they retracted the study on hydrochloroquine that said it was dangerous. They retracted that whole thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now they're opening the trials back up
real
on
quick
that.
before we go to that. Just the last thing because I posted it in there, but
yeah.
But it was just about what happened over Memorial Weekend. So in Chicago, 49 people got shot.
Right.
10 people died
Over one weekend.
One weekend.
Maybe more now because people were in the hospital.
You could pull up that article. It's the first link in the whole thing.
But none of the major outlets covered any of this. And
that's not the narrative right now.
Yeah.
And it's that's a crisis when you have 49 people get shot, and that was what they found. Like it could have been more.
Right.
Wow.
In one weekend,
kids too.
Why we can't be just looking at what we want to look at.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Right.
And why is there not outrage? And you know what? Like, I always go back to believers because sometimes believers will get in their high horse, like, but like, where's your outrage for abortion? Where's your outrage for what's happening? Like 49 people shot over the. And I'm not saying you gotta be outraged, but I'm saying don't be so emotional about this and then not be emotional about the other thing because that don't make any sense.
Right.
There has to be.
But that's the point I was making earlier about, and I meant to bring the article up during that, but I forgot. During the pandering thing, because they can take a narrative and be they selectively pick and choose which stories to be outraged about because it furthers their point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that doesn't further anyone's point. So
it actually works in reverse.
Right. So they just totally ignore it because you know, the narrative is Black Lives Matter. We want to save Black lives. But
from the news that you're talking about, the anchor perspective.
I'm talking about everyone who's out there toting it right now. Like we care about Black lives. Black Lives Matter. Like forget all lives matter. No, it's about Black lives because Black lives are being lost at an unproportionate rate. Okay, but we're only selecting the ones that make a certain news story fit. Right. You know what I mean? Like those are the only Black lives we care about.
Right. And even with that, like, do you know how easily that can be weaponized?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're doing that.
Those words.
They're doing that. They're taking it and hijacking what you care about.
And they're using
and they're
it.
saying, oh, but yeah, this is the Black life we should care about now. Just this one. Because that's the one. Let's all get outraged about that one. All those 49. No. Don't even think about that.
Not the millions of babies that are aborted every day.
Right.
They're standing there reporting George Floyd's death, and a black guy gets killed right in front of them. They're like, anyway, back to George Floyd.
Anyway. Shauna said, absolutely, I see a lot of believers talk, but not enough praying.
Yeah. And that's a key. And even like in terms of like getting back what a word means. You know what I mean? Like, because I agree wholeheartedly. Black Lives Matter. Right.
That's why
that is a true statement. Mm-hmm. But I don't agree with the organization.
Right.
That's a subjugation of the word.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a pulling down. You're not going to get the whole truth from them.
Right.
They're going to weaponize it for their own benefit, and that's rebellion. And
plus, it's like the organization only. Anytime you have an organization that springs up for a cause like that, it already becomes corrupted, because if we do, like, even we talk about it with the ACLU, with the any one of these NAACP, if they run out of causes to fight for, they no longer exist.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So they always have to put a problem in front of you.
Something.
They have to create a problem to put in front of you.
And
the world's always on fire.
Yeah.
And that's like when you look at rebellion at its core, rebellion only cares about you when it benefits them.
Right.
Like a rebellious person, a child, he's only listening to you so he can get what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you don't got what he needs anymore, he's on to the next one.
Right.
It creates narcissism, and it creates a sociopath.
Right.
I mean, that's the ultimate thing, because what it does is it creates people as just opportunities and tools to use for their own benefit.
Right.
Rebellion is going to rebel. If you're going to rebel against your own parents, you're going to rebel against anybody else.
Any authority. Yeah.
And and there's no honor.
Right.
So continue to it's just a cycle of, so like people who use people who are rebellious, they going to discard you because they know you're going to rebel against them.
Right.
They don't care about you. That's literally what the devil does.
Mm-hmm.
He uses people and he discards them because he knows that they just gonna turn on him.
Right.
Because they're not really invested in the thing.
Right.
They're just invested in their needs not being met.
Right.
You know? Yeah, exactly. What they can get, because it's not even really needs. It's
Right.
just really their
What they can
desires
get,
being
yeah.
met.
Right.
And once they feel like their desires aren't met in this area, now they're just gonna move on to another thing.
Right.
You know, it's just like somebody who, you know, it's a I don't want to say a hoe. But it's, you know,
damn son,
yo,
damn.
say what's on your mind,
no, but like
son.
You know what I mean?
somebody who is very promiscuous, a lot,
whore.
Yeah, but
Slut.
They're always trying to fulfill a desire,
Right.
inside, and so they're moving from one person to the next because
Right.
it's never fulfilled.
Right.
Once you don't meet what they want, they're on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Shauna
I just call them Instagram models. But yeah, so a lot of good stuff about
Coronavirus.
that. Let's go on to coronavirus because I want to show. First thing we're going to do is we're going to watch this video that I thought was pretty funny. I saw on Twitter, and this is going to set up the whole conversation.
All right, I'm ready.
About COVID, where we're at. See if our producers can get this together.
Yo,
over
producer,
here.
produce.
Here
Some of you might be wondering why last month I was writing articles about how leaving your house is basically bludgeoning the elderly, and this month I'm writing articles about the importance of large social gatherings. And after a ton of research, scientists have discovered that the X factor in determining whether a gathering is dangerous is whether or not I, Mark Diamond, personally support it. There's something about the dynamics of the coronavirus mixed with my personal political beliefs that made it important to snitch on your friends for gathering last week and important to snitch on them for not supporting gatherings this week. Science is crazy. For example, science determined that white people gathering at the park last week were basically Ben Stiller from Happy Gilmore, and now they have a social duty to make large gatherings a cardinal part of their identity. They've been able to A/B test this with causes I don't support, like religious gatherings, family events, and the science shows that coronavirus is still rampant at these gatherings. Something about the molecules, in my opinions, that made groups of 5 bad, but groups of 10,000 good, running a store bad, but looting a store good. I'm not a scientist, but health officials everywhere have been experiencing the exact same phenomenon. Hey, I'm as surprised as you are that my opinions made Corona live on surfaces last month and immune to them this month. It also appears that my opinions have the ability to change someone like Kanye West's anatomy to make them fundamentally good or bad. Scientists have also found that Donald Trump plays a big role in this, and that I choose my opinions in opposition to his, which then allows Corona to use that information when deciding which gatherings that it plans to infect. You know, it's a very complicated issue, and all you can do at home right now is follow me and other bloggers on Twitter as our opinions constantly change so you can figure out which causes make you a murderer and which ones make you a hero.
So
that was pretty funny.
What he's talking about is what we're seeing with the hypocrisy that we keep seeing, where it's like, we point this out all the time, where it's like, okay, what are we supposed to believe? Because you tell us...
Right.
If we go outside, we're killing all the grandmoms in the world. And then literally 2 days later, it's like everyone needs to go outside and protest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And who cares about grandmoms? You know what I mean? And
From 1 week to the next.
From 1 week to the next.
Who cares about grandmoms?
Our good Governor Murphy, remember the gym that people were protesting? He was giving citations to everybody. He's locking arms with people, protesting, walking hand in hand.
Dude, and pardoning them from jail. The people that got arrested for protesting. So you're arresting. That's the thing. It's like, and a lot of people are saying this. Like, these governors are saying, if you go to the beach or if you go to, you know, someone posted up a tweet. I put it in there too. It's a video of all the people in LA, and they were like, "Didn't California?" The tweet was like, "Didn't California arrest someone for paddle boarding by themselves in a lake?" You know what I mean? Right. But it's like 10,000 people walking,
right?
And anyone who does loot, even looters, that got arrested are being pardoned.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think people are really paying it. To me, people are not paying attention to the way the powers that be can use a crisis, because this is a perfect example of it. Like you said, a few weeks ago, it was run for your lives, panic, don't go outside, you're going to kill grandma.
Right.
Then I don't think this was a planned thing. They used this man's death to catapult another thing. So you see how quickly they could be like, panic, run for the hills, and then...
But that was the thing catapulted at the time. It was like, this is the thing we're going to use.
Right.
But then as soon as we got something better, forget about that.
Exactly.
And now we're going to use this. But what happened to all of that? Oh, no, don't worry about that.
Right.
But then once this dies down, then this will be...
So you're watching it play out. You're watching how the powers that be can use a situation to benefit that cause. You know what I mean? You
and control you.
And control you.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you're seeing here. Okay.
And want to keep it going.
Exactly. They want to keep it going, you know, because let me tell you something right now, that all the governors and all the quote unquote people locking arms, go look at how heavily pro-union they are. Right. Which is, you and I have talked about this before.
Yeah.
The unions, it's what create this environment to protect the police when they...
Exactly. A lot of these, you know, progressives are pro-union, but then want to defund the police. It's like, you know,
and they know they're just saying that to you,
right?
They don't really mean that.
Yeah,
you know,
that's the other thing. It's like this whole defunding the police thing. It's like none of that. Like, so who's gonna be? So we're gonna let like just. The criminals are basically going to run the cities.
Right.
The gangs are going to like just step up and be like, all right, we run this
What
now.
about grandma?
Right.
She can't shoot.
They think all the people calling for defunding the police are people that live in like gated neighborhoods. I only see one cop a year anyway. So it's like,
can they get in here?
Right. Keep them out of here.
Right.
But yeah, the hypocrisy of the coronavirus thing is hilarious to me. And then seeing, see if you can pull up that CNBC story about how asymptomatic people can't spread the virus anymore. We're learning this now. All this new evidence is coming. All these new studies.
But are they giving you? Are they just because I'm starting to realize we're getting a lot of statistics and
and this comes from the WHO. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, so, but what happened to like we can't trust what these people say at all.
Right.
What is this? Yeah, that's I guess I don't know. It was an article, but maybe there's a video. Watch it.
I think this is a word video.
Okay.
We know that people who are asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic, when we do nasopharyngeal swabs on those people, they're shedding in many cases as much virus as someone who's infected and symptomatic. So you could surmise from that they're going to be contagious. It might be the case that they're less contagious, but it's way too early to conclude that. We don't have definitive data on this question right now. So we need to assume that asymptomatic individuals can pass on the virus, because when we swab them, we know they have virus on them, and we know that they can
disclaimer right
exude
there.
it.
Yeah.
The majority of transmission that we know about is that people who have symptoms transmit the virus to other people through infectious droplets. But there are a subset of people who don't develop symptoms. And to truly understand how many people don't have symptoms, we don't actually have that answer yet.
What are you laughing at over there? Okay, you can stop this.
What's so funny?
I'm sorry. The first guy, he was making me laugh. Like, he's talking so fast without breath.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't want anyone to have any space to argue with him.
Right. He's like, let me just get this out.
Yeah.
Show the picture that's right under that, because CNBC actually printed the story and then corrected it because they got told, you know what I mean? We lost the camera. Okay. But it said, like, the wording that they used in the headline, it said like, you know, asymptomatic people can't spread the disease, and then they changed it to it's very rare. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because someone told them, like, whoa, don't say that.
Right.
But yeah,
special.
Isn't that part because people are fact checking stuff now, so they don't want to be fact checked?
That's what it is, man. That's what it is. It's like, I was watching. The Andrew Schultz was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I
today.
saw that. Yeah.
You saw that, and he talked about they talked about hydroxychloroquine. Yeah, that's the original headline that they took down and corrected.
Right. But that's the falsity in it, is that they're correcting it there, but they're not going back on TV to say we were wrong.
No.
So the people who already soaked up the information, they're going with that.
Yeah.
So they're not coming back like, sorry guys, news bulletin where you're sitting there and they're no.
We have a correction to make. No, it's like they just correct the headline on Twitter and then it's
see,
like,
we corrected it way back there.
Right. That's like the ABC thing with Jesse
Smollett.
Yep. Yeah. All right, pull up the After you hit that, pull up the hydroxychloroquine article, because I want to read this a little bit. I want you guys to hear how this study was done and why they had to retract it, because this sounds like they just went with whatever they could find that would.
Who did this study?
That's what we're gonna see.
Okay. I would love to know.
Elizabeth Holmes. Theranos.
Does it have to do with your boy?
Who? Fauci?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't even involved. I don't even think there was any scientists involved in the study, dude. Like, that's why it ended up getting retracted.
I haven't seen Fauci in the...
Dude, that dude's...
Because he's been wrong on everything.
Schultz said he's hiding in his Keebler elf house.
He does look like a Keebler.
No, it's just an article. It says HCQ retraction or something like that. Yeah. Can you read it? Because I can't read that from over here. So one of you guys read it.
It's small.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'll read it.
Okay.
Retraction. What's that word?
Hydroxychloroquine.
Hydroxychloroquine, or chloroquine with or without a microlead for treatment of COVID-19, a multinational registry and analysis. After publication of our Lancet article, several concerns were raised with respect to the veracity of the data.
Okay, pause real quick.
Yeah.
So now the study that they're talking about is the one that they used to go on all the news stations and say, if you take this, you'll die. The president is putting everyone in danger. This is the study that they're talking about now that they've retracted. Okay, everyone was using that as the weapon. Okay, so now continue from there.
All right, what is it? Veracity of the data? Veracity?
Yes.
I lost my place.
Veracity of the data.
Okay, and analysis conducted by Surgisphere Corporation and its founder and our co-author, Sapan Dasi. In our publication, we launched an independent third-party peer review of Surgisphere with the consent of Sapan Dasi to elevate the origination of the database elements, to confirm the completeness of the databases, and to replicate the analysis presented in the paper. Our independence peer reviews informed us that Surgisphere would not transfer the full data set, client contracts, and the full ISO audit report to their servers for analysis, as such transfer would violate client agreements and confidentiality requirements. It's hard to read so far away. As such, our reviews were not able to be conducted were not able to conduct an independent and private peer review, and therefore notified us of their withdrawal from peer review processes. We always aspire to perform our research in accordance with the high ethical and professional guidelines. We can never forget the responsibility we have as researchers to scrupulously ensure that we rely on data sources that adhere to our high standards. Based on this development, we can no longer vouch for the veracity of the primary data sources. Due to this unfortunate development, the authors request that the paper be retracted. We all entered this collaboration to contribute in good faith and at the time of the great need during the COVID-19 pandemic. We deeply apologize to you, the editors, and the journal readership for any embarrassment or inconvenience that this may have caused. And then a bunch of tiny print that I can't read.
Cool. Right. So basically, never peer reviewed. Never peer reviewed.
Let's go with this.
And what have we been hearing about everything that they've been saying? Oh, it's got to be peer reviewed. It's got to be. You can't even touch it unless it's peer reviewed. You know what I mean? But when it fits the narrative,
you gotta go.
They run with it.
Yeah.
They run with it. And another thing that I read on it that's when I was looking at. I like something that I read was like, one of the person that did the study was like a porn star, and then the other one was. It was like this weird group of people. Right. Like it was so crazy. I'm like, how did this get past everyone? Right. But it's like they don't. And do they have to go back now? Are they going to go on all the news outlets now and tell us like we were wrong, guys? No, they put out this retraction on Twitter.
And nobody's going to see.
It's supposed to be the top medical journal.
Wow. That's crazy.
Hey, Tiffany Sloan.
Hey, Tiff.
So this is irresponsible on purpose, is what this is.
Right.
Because, like you said, they can use certain parts of that to further the narrative.
Right.
And they know that it's wrong, but they know that they have the ability to go back and make retractions and correct it, but they'll never do it in the way it was used to propagate the lie. They'll use it. They'll do the correction on the paper, which they know nobody's going to read.
Right.
Yeah.
And
they know, though. We talked about it before. Like,
make sure nobody watches it.
They'll state something. They know that there's a chance that it's just because it's the opposite of Trump. They know there's a chance that they're going to have to retract it later.
Right.
But the damage is done already.
Damage is done.
They don't care.
And they'll just print a retraction. Tim Pool talks about that all the time. Like they'll print a fake story. Yeah. And then get all the clicks from it, make all the money off of it, and then print the retraction 2 days later.
I call it getting smolleted.
right.
Getting smoolied.
Getting smoolied.
Yeah, it's true. It's and because that's essentially what they're looking at. They're looking at when they say something, they want the initial effect. And studies have shown that your initial viewing of something is what you soak in. That's what sticks with you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
First impression.
That first 5, however long it takes, that's what you believe that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. To think about all of the stuff that is changing in the narrative about this whole thing.
So let me ask a question.
Yeah.
so far we've pretty much pointed out that the news is full of crap.
Right.
Where do we tell the viewers to go? How can they? You know what I mean?
Bro, you have to I feel like you have to learn to discern between the read between the lines.
Right.
You gotta pray, man.
Yeah.
Like you get to the point where it's like,
right.
You
what
can't
do you
trust
do?
none of this.
Like,
Yeah.
should we just give up on life?
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not a hopeless.
No,
but I'm just saying. Yeah, you pray
But
about it.
where do you get news from?
Yes,
Right.
To be,
Where do you
actually,
get news from?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
They're saying that small news companies,
We're going back to basically the independent
yeah,
news.
but actual papers. They have been the ones printing actually factual things. They were the ones that uncovered like a lot of the Epstein thing. It wasn't Ronan Farrow.
Right.
They were saying that a lot of good journalism is in the actual paper, but people don't read anymore. Right?
Yeah.
And they were saying that if we
Card full.
Okay, I shouldn't be saying that. Let's turn it off and turn it back on.
A lot of tech.
Yeah.
A lot of tech issues. They don't like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Rachel is sabotaging us from far away. No, so they were saying that a lot of it is there are a lot of good articles that are truth, but people just don't read anymore.
Right.
People are looking for, and they were saying that they have figured out that 5 seconds, that 10 seconds, just put it out there. We'll deal with it later.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just
Headlines.
Get that clip with Denzel where he's like, people would rather be first than true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's about getting that information out there. Stan said the Epoch Times is a good paper. Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
Epic Times.
Yeah.
I think is it Epic or
Epoch.
Epoch?
And then we
Epoch?
got. I think that's what it is. You're right. We as believers we should pray.
Right.
We should pray and ask God to give us wisdom and guidance. But we need to find out who is reporting true news and
Right.
support them.
Right, and not be fooled by the faker, the people that are hyping us up. Like, we need to be able to see, like, all right, am I being lied to? You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people are just so caught up with, again, it's a team mentality, right? It's like, well, I'm a CNN person. I watch CNN. My grandfather watched CNN. It's like this thing that is ingrained in you that you don't realize, like, they're lying to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I watch Fox News. Fox News is my channel. It's like your dad loves Fox News. You know what I mean? And it's like we always talk about, like, because it's know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're gonna be the ones telling you, like, you know,
it's crazy. You can like, it's like it's an actual emotion and feeling where you can sit down, put the TV on, and just. This is something that I know is true.
Yeah.
And everything that I'm gonna like. I take all my guard and I just listen. You know what I mean? All my guard is down and I'm just in it all.
Right.
This is my comfort time.
Right.
You know what I mean? How many people do that? They'll just turn the news on and just like, and it's actually like an expression of an emotion. Like it's a feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then when you sip up, I mean, you can get that with movies or other stuff too, but. How many people just feel like that's their comfort zone when they sit and they watch this stuff and then they feel filled and then they go out and spew it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you're just.
I do that with football.
Yeah.
You're just regurgitating.
Yeah, that's it. That's the right word. You're just regurgitating what you've heard.
Yeah, and he's got like the media is literally like. They're prophets of Baal. And people don't. That's their false prophets. They're people. They're telling you what to look at and to focus on for your future.
And they need you. They need you to help too.
They need you to listen to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you don't listen to them, then it doesn't validate them.
I was just talking to my wife about that today, and I was saying to her. She was telling me about things that she'd been reading via Facebook, and I said, "You read the comments?" And she was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Get off the comments. Don't even go down there because you can't address a couple of seconds of stupidity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just get off of it. To me, it's like if you try to engage or you try to read that, you're gonna work yourself off. It's best to just get off. Don't even go there.
Yeah.
You know?
I know that a few times I've come across people who, you know, they're like spouting stuff off in Facebook, and I know it's emotional, and I'll go to them like, you know, person to person, and you know, what's going on? How you feeling? You know, are you? I can sense you're feeling this, and this because it's kind of obvious, you know.
You just the random people? Okay.
Not the random people. People I know. Definitely not the random people. But what I'm saying is that a lot of times they'll open up to you, start talking, you know, and that's where the healing can happen. Like, so people look at something and they're like, what did they just say? But a lot of times it's backed up by a lot of emotions that need to be dealt with, and they just need somebody to talk to. You know.
But a lot of times too is just a lot of people are just trying to get attention. You have to.
But even in that, it's still like it's like a kid getting attention, and even if he's off in terms of his perspective, something is genuine in it, and it needs to be dealt with. You know, some kids, they act out because they need attention, but they still have to be like, you still got to address it. You still got to connect with them.
You miss your calling, man. You should be like a high school guidance counselor. You straighten out this generation.
Yo, I want to show y'all something. The camera looks different now. I want to show y'all something.
It looks like
James
it
is taking
pick up that. Pull up that picture of Hong Kong. Got it? All right, pull that up, Kyle. So look at this, yo. 1 year ago, June 9th. That was the start of the Hong Kong protests.
Dang, that's the protest.
But think about that. 1 year ago, and now we're here, and the protests are here. Remember we talked about this? How they flipped it? How China flipped it on us? Yo, did y'all hear about the how someone got caught from China bringing in all this counterfeit money?
No.
Recently?
Yeah, like a couple days ago. I just popped in my head, but yeah, like there's been so much. You hear about the college professors that got caught like taking money from China?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, like there's all this weird stuff surrounding
and
China.
Many members of the past cabinet are now working for big corporations in China.
Who was wasn't it Pelosi that had a Chinese driver like spy for years and didn't know it or something, like 20 years? Or one of her drivers was like a Chinese spy.
I don't know about that. It's the first I'm hearing about that.
See if you can find an article on that, John. Now look it up. I think it was Pelosi or someone. Just look. Someone had a Chinese spy as their driver. I don't remember who it was, but it was somebody. Dianne Feinstein.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she had it like a spy from China. Like, dude. So think about it. China is like successfully, if they are like conspiratorially thinking, like if China is like, because someone got caught bringing in Ebola, SARS, like all of these coronaviruses from China also. Remember, it's like someone's luggage got found and they had all these viruses in there. Like, if China is doing something to this country, like it's...
China's gotten good at espionage.
Yeah, but think about it. The trade war that we're in right now, Trump has been locking down on them. They're losing money. They hate Trump.
Did you guys ever see the video of a Chinese lady who was in like an Apple or it could have been a Best Buy or something, and she's going around and on purpose touching everything and wiping it down, and somebody pulls out a phone and starts like, yo, what is going on? And this is before everything. And they're like, something's wrong with her, you know, because she's literally going, and people start asking, what are you doing? And she's just ignoring them. And
she's going in and wiping every single
down. Thing, like not wiping it, like cleaning it.
Yeah.
I'm saying like smudging, licking, like, yeah, like she was.
So she had the coronavirus. And, yo, they was sent, but think about it. We didn't even find out about, China didn't lock down until it let a certain amount of planes leave. Right. Remember, like that's the story, right? They let a certain amount of planes leave China first, and file into the rest of the world, and then it got leaked, and then they locked down the country. So it's like Yeah, this lady gets in here,
Yeah,
and
it
her
was-
mission is
and it's like either she's crazy,
Right.
or something's going on.
Right.
You know
What
I mean?
is this lady doing?
And at the time,
Spreading
people
germs.
didn't get it.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were like, "Is she trying to?" Is
You
she
said
sick?
wiping things down. I thought you meant cleaning.
No,
it.
no.
She's like touching
No,
everything,
she's
like
touching
trying to get her
everything.
germs on everything.
And people were like, "Is she sick? Like, what's going on? Is she really trying to affect?" But it wasn't.
Is there video of this?
There's video of
Yo,
it.
see if you can find that Chinese lady. She probably watch her be from like Laos or something. We just gonna be like, damn, we wrong.
Thailand, Cambodia.
Chinese lady in
I mean,
Apple
even
Store,
if, like
touching
We're
everything.
spreading
or
fake
something.
news.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know if she was Chinese.
Yeah,
but
she looked. What did Patrice O'Neal say? Like, not
wanna-
saying Chinese,
but I mean places where Chinese people come from.
When I say Chinese, I don't mean Chinese, but places where Chinese people come from. Yeah, but
she's like an older lady.
It's racist.
Yeah,
But why is that not believable though? Because you saw the Antifa guy passing out money to break tables.
Yeah.
I mean, why couldn't they do the same thing?
Exactly. And why can't they be funding Antifa?
Of course.
Why can't they? Like, we were talking about TikTok.
Because George Soros is funding Antifa.
Yeah, he's him too.
And
But-
Black Lives Matter.
Right. But we were talking about TikTok also, and how TikTok is being used to radicalize certain people because these videos are being spread over there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And China owns that. John's like, this video does not exist.
I mean, I saw this a long time ago.
Okay. How long?
Before the
Like, how long before?
probably like
December?
Like
no
2012?
No, it was right before. It was like February.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
No, the Corona started in
January.
In here it was pretty much January.
Yeah. But I mean, it wasn't like
What?
I just watched 90 Day Fiance
Yeah.
quarantine where they were talking.
Yeah.
What's the black lady from Las Vegas? The one that was catfished by the dude that
Williams?
was from Williams. I forgot her name.
Yeah, I can't remember.
She said in December she was sick. She said with the flu, but she was on a respirator or what's that? Breathe machine.
Yeah,
respirator. Yeah. She was hospitalized for like a whole month.
Wow.
The whole month of December.
Yeah.
And they said she probably has coronavirus.
And the host lady was like, they didn't test you for COVID-19. She was
We
like,
didn't know back then.
Yeah, they didn't know back
Yeah.
then. So she probably had.
No, but the doctor said that she probably had coronavirus.
All right.
The doctor said that?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Oh. Yeah. They.
Yeah. But I saw this video when it was like just getting, started, but not really over here. So it was kind of like not being paid attention to.
Yeah, it wasn't here because in February we went to the Bahamas, and I remember the first thing they asked us was like, "Has anyone been to China?" Like that's all they cared about.
They did ask
and they
that.
kicked all the Chinese people out. Like
Yeah.
Bahamas wasn't playing.
Right.
But
This was in February.
We weren't really paying it. Like it
No.
was there, but we weren't paying it any
And
mind.
nobody was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it's so phony when they act like everyone should have been aware of this. You know what I mean?
But I'm telling you, that video.
that's
I don't know
crazy.
why I just thought about it now.
Where did you see that?
I think on Facebook or
Oh,
something.
wow.
Yeah.
Look, they done.
Huh?
An Apple store.
They didn't took it down.
I think it was like a Best Buy. I don't think it was Apple.
Oh. See, you
I don't.
sending them
I
on
mean,
a-
I don't know. I said I changed it.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know. It was a technology place, but it definitely was. So, how they have all the tablets out and the computers and
Yeah.
stuff. So she was around the tables, and she was going around to all of them and wiping her stuff on them.
Cool guy.
It might be hard to find because it's a while ago.
Really?
Oh, they.
Yeah,
People
I mean,
are
especially
crazy,
because how long ago it was.
Well, we'll find that some other time. All right, y'all feel like doing another song before we get out of here?
Yeah, we can end it.
What do you
with
think?
A song.
What song do y'all want to do?
Beautiful Eyes.
Beautiful Eyes. We could do Higher Love. We
Higher
could
Love.
do. You want to do Beautiful Eyes?
We could do Beautiful Eyes.
Make sure I still remember how to play it. This is a song that we got coming out soon. Coming out
Soon.
June 15th.
Oh,
right?
June 15th is when everything opens. The stout.
Didn't they extend
Stills? No, really? For real? Where you going, James? You don't want to be
James don't want to be a part.
Be awkwardly sad.
You can sing. You can sing the bass.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Me too.
Well, you gotta sing first. All right. What's that? That's an old desk from. Guess where that's from? Leon Huff's house. Now I might mess up playing this because
I might mess up singing this.
Hey. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Reverb.
Yeah. Why do we turn away when the truth's been staring in our face? Maybe we don't want to know what's on the other side. We won't ever know until we try. So much is going on across this land, but we can't understand what's been happening, my friends. 'Cause we don't want to know what's on the other side. And no one wants to know when we're preoccupied, worried about our lives, living in vain to make everything right. Beautiful eyes, open and fine. Beautiful eyes are yours and mine. We're living on for the day when this week is done. Then we're gonna dance our cares away till the morning comes. 'Cause we don't want to know what's on that other side. Yeah, it's easier just to go on like everything's alright. Alright, alright, but is it really alright? Beautiful eyes, open and fine. Beautiful eyes are yours and mine. How will we ever get to see tomorrow when we've been blinded by yesterday? Yeah. And for too long I've been running from all my sorrows, but somehow I keep ending up in the same place. I can never seem to get away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whoa. Hey, yeah, yeah. I know we can. Whoa, 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 maybe we'll try. Maybe we'll try today. Maybe we'll try. Maybe we'll try. Try and open our eyes. Whoa, those beautiful eyes. Yeah, your beautiful eyes. Oh, your beautiful eyes. Open and find what you hide. Those beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. We're gonna try to do some more music on here as we continue the stream. James just squeaking on down.
Squeaking away.
But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for everybody for tuning in and sticking with us the whole time. I see a lot of people still on here. Make sure you
Junior came in late.
Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Go to the Patreon when you get a chance, and you can get our music at yourtime.com. Get some merch there. We got that song Beautiful Eyes coming out on June 15th. Higher Love is out now. Yeah, and we'll see y'all next week. We're out of here.
Yeah.
Peace.
Young lion, go live, yeah. Young lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has run.